Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever looked at your plate, piled high with avocados, spinach, and almonds, and just wondered why you aren't hitting your health goals? We call these things superfoods. But today, we're going to unlock the shocking truth behind the staples sitting in your kitchen right now.
So here's a wild thought. Can eating too many superfoods actually be bad for you? I know, it sounds completely counterintuitive, right? We've literally been told our whole lives to eat more of this stuff. But what if some of the absolute healthiest items in your pantry could be secretly sabotaging your health? Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. We're going to cover the superfood misconception, calorie bombs in disguise, the sugar and processing trap, hidden toxins and compounds, and finally, moderation and variety. Part 1. The superfood misconception. This is where healthy actually becomes harmful. It all starts with something called the health halo. Now, this is the totally false belief that just because a food is packed with nutrients, you can consume it in unlimited quantities without any negative consequences, like weight gain or even toxicity. Every single day, well-meaning people are actively trying to improve their diets, but they fall victim to this exact health halo. They just load up on these superfoods, assuming, more is always better. And that leads to immense frustration when they see a complete lack of progress. Moving to part 2, calorie bombs in disguise, the heavy weight of healthy fats. 190. That is exactly how many calories are hiding in just 2 flat tablespoons of peanut butter. And let's be real for a second. Who actually stops at just 2 flat tablespoons? A few extra heaping spoonfuls can easily add hundreds of hidden calories to your day. Plus, commercial brands often completely ruin the benefits by pumping in hydrogenated oils, palm oil, and sugar. But honestly, it goes deeper than just calories. Biologically, peanuts carry the risk of aflatoxin. It's a mold toxin that scientists monitor very closely. And for some people, even trace amounts can trigger severe, life-threatening anaphylaxis. And then we have almonds. Sure, they are rich in protein and magnesium, absolutely. But one small handful is up to 180 calories. If you mindlessly eat a few handfuls while working or catching up on a show, you've instantly downed over 500 calories. Crazy, right? Furthermore, almonds are naturally high in oxalates. So for individuals who are prone to calcium oxalate kidney stones, eating large amounts directly increases your risk. Oh, and definitely beware of those flavored varieties on the shelves. They're often just coated in salt, sugar, and artificial seasonings that basically turn a perfectly healthy nut into outright junk food. Now let's talk about the beloved avocado. A single medium avocado packs upwards of 320 calories. Yes, they're full of heart-healthy fats, folate, and potassium, but without strict portion control, regular excessive consumption leads straight to unwanted weight gain. But it actually gets weirder. Because avocados are high in vitamin K, they can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin. On top of that, their FODMAP carbohydrates can trigger severe bloating for people with IBS, and they even pose a risk for folks with latex fruit syndrome. Let's move to our third category and see how this builds: the sugar and processing trap, liquid calories, and concentrated sweets. Now, what's really interesting here is comparing eating a whole piece of fruit versus drinking fruit juice. Whole fruit gives you natural fiber, which slows down your digestion, regulates your blood sugar, and keeps you feeling full. But the juicing process strips all that vital fiber away. It leaves you with concentrated natural sugars that just rapidly hit your bloodstream. A single glass easily contains the sugar of 3 or 4 whole pieces of fruit. So even if it's 100% juice, packed with vitamin C and pomegranate plant compounds, it essentially acts as a rapid sugar bomb, and it often has added artificial flavors too. And that liquid trap gets even worse. 1,000. A single supposedly healthy smoothie, blending together banana, berries, mango, peanut butter, oats, yogurt, honey, chia seeds, and protein powder, can effortlessly hit 1,000 calories. Because you're blending the ingredients, you are drastically reducing the chewing process. This completely bypasses your brain's fullness signals, making it incredibly easy to consume massive amounts of calories and sugar before you even realize you've had enough. This deception carries right over to Greek yogurt and dried fruit traps. Plain Greek yogurt offers great calcium, B12, and probiotics. But commercial flavored varieties often hide 20 to 30 grams of added sugar per serving. I mean, that is literally dessert-level sweet. And full-fat yogurt is naturally high in saturated fat, too. Pair that with dried fruit, and the problem just multiplies. You see, removing the water from fruit concentrates both the sugar and the volume. So a small handful of raisins has the sugar of a huge handful of grapes. Plus, commercial dried fruit frequently contains added glucose syrup, sulfur dioxide to improve its appearance, and it has this sticky texture that actively causes tooth decay. Then, of course, we have dark chocolate. Yes, it contains amazing flavonoids, iron, copper, and manganese that can improve blood vessel function. But at the end of the day, it is still chocolate. A single bar often exceeds 500 calories. And if you choose a lower cocoa percentage, say around 50%, you are getting significantly higher added sugar. Dark chocolate also naturally contains stimulants like caffeine and theobromine, which can seriously interfere with your sleep. And shockingly, independent studies have found traces of heavy metals like cadmium and lead in some bars, which the cocoa plants absorb right out of the soil. Section 4. Hidden toxins and compounds, the invisible risks in our everyday staples. And this brilliantly illustrates the invisible risks hiding in healthy staples like tuna, brown rice, and spinach. Large predatory tuna actually accumulate mercury over their lifespans. Because of this, you really need to limit albacore and big eye, especially during pregnancy, and choose skipjack or rotate with salmon, sardines, or trout. Now, brown rice is great, but flooded rice fields absorb inorganic arsenic directly from the soil. Plus, the extra fiber can cause bloating compared to white rice. The fix? Vary your grains with quinoa, barley, or oats, and always wash and cook your rice in excess water. And spinach? Incredible for its lutein and zeaxanthin, but it's loaded with oxalates and nitrates. Improper storage can actually cause its natural nitrates to convert to nitrates, and its high vitamin K means you have to monitor it carefully if you take blood thinners. It really requires moderation.
Finally, we have protein powders. Whey, casein, soy, pea, they're all incredibly popular right now. But the reality is, most healthy adults get plenty of protein naturally from meat, fish, eggs, and beans. These powders often function more as a trap for unnecessary calories, added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and cheap fillers. Worse still, independent testing has shown traces of lead, cadmium, and arsenic in some products, and for people with chronic kidney disease, it just places extra unnecessary demands on their kidneys. It's supposed to be a supplement, not a full replacement for real food.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Moderation and Variety, or Rethinking the Health Halo.
So what is our action plan here? It really comes down to 3 crucial steps. Number 1, practice strict portion control. Keep that peanut butter to a modest spoonful and the almonds to a small handful. Number 2, rotate your sources frequently. Don't just eat tuna every single day. Swap in some sardines or trout. Don't rely exclusively on brown rice. Try barley or quinoa. And number 3, read labels for added sugars and toxins. Don't let sneaky commercial additives completely erase the nutritional value of your food. So the crucial point is this. If there is one thing you take away from this entire explainer, let it be this exact phrase. Healthy doesn't always mean unlimited. Foods like avocados, spinach, and tuna are absolutely incredible for you. They really are nutritional powerhouses. But you absolutely have to treat them as nutrient-rich elements of a balanced diet, rather than endless snacks you can just eat without a second thought. I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Look inside your pantry right now. Which of your favorite superfoods is secretly sabotaging your health? It might be time to evaluate those habits, rethink your portion sizes, and look a little closer at the science of your food. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.